space for we have space for a comfort break and also for shenanigans, where we play a silly game or we do some kind of activity, which you are welcome to get involved with. You are also welcome not to. It is entirely up to you. So, delighted to have you. Without further ado, let me introduce you to our first reader of the night. So Michelle Diaz, have we got Michelle? We have got Michelle, fantastic. Just double checking for a second, sorry Michelle. So Michelle is originally from Yorkshire and now lives in Glastonbury. She has been published in numerous journals, both online and in print. She's currently working on her first full collection. She was recently nominated for the Forward Prize in a single poem category. So please go absolutely wild for Michelle as she comes to the microphone. Woohoo!
Hi, can everyone hear me all right?
Yes, absolutely.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to start with one that's from a sequence of poems about kind of mental health and depression. So this is Here You Are Again. It is only 10 a.m. and you have already outstayed your welcome. Dastardly day, born from a slow puncture in the sky. You are full of bad intention. I'm sick of what you serve up. All over pain, a shattered brain, and the nagging feeling that I have forgotten something. I watch from afar, time bomb bodies doing their weird dance to death. Where do we hide our arguments then? Where should we bury the hatchet? Where do we put the light? In a coffin, of course, down with the rotting, the shroud cradled, and the dark pitted skulls. Life was a tongue I was once fluent in. Now, like worms, I'm suburban. I hunker down in the indifferent soil. I no longer know the sun. And my next poem is a kind of, I'm not sure if it's a prose poem or a flash fiction or some strange version of poetry, but this is called Sparky. For months, I had an imaginary friend. This was allowed as he kept me quiet. At first, my mother went along with it. He was a leprechaun with a ginger beard and a green face. My dad had done a flit, and the Irishness of a leprechaun made her feel safe. As we walked to school, Sparky and I held hands. We chatted about the BFG and Danger Mouse, and he would jump from wall to wall, making me late. This went on for a while, and I think Mum was pleased I was entertaining myself while my lanky brothers ran ahead. One day, a large brown envelope came through the door before school. She tore it open and, for the first and last time, said, "Fuck." Mum was all red in the face, scrabbling through her bag for Benson and Hedges. On the way to St. Augustine's, she told me to stop buggering about or people would think I was soft in the head. I'd get carted away to the funny farm. My cheeks burned all the way to school. I left Sparky at the gate. We never talked again.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Michelle. Absolutely give it up for Michelle. Also, can I just say, I loved that last piece, whether it was flash fiction or poem. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Amazing stuff. Oh, thank you so much. Right, let me introduce you to our second reader of the night, Lee McShane. So, Lee is an actor, filmmaker, comedian, and published writer from Jarrow. His poetry focuses on emotions and his own personal struggles, which matches his other writing, which focuses on horror. So please go absolutely wild for him as he comes to the mic.
Thank you. So this first poem is in honor of my granda, who died of dementia last year, and it's just about the struggles of watching him slowly decline over the years. The pain in your eyes when a memory strikes, a wisp of smoke from decades past, reigniting once more. Tears swell again as you ask for the third time today, reliving a moment from 1977. My heart pangs with agony when you look through me. Your eyes see a stranger, though I am your grandson. A lifetime of memories stolen in a flash, like a page torn from the story of your life. You don't remember the stories you told me, the laughs we shared now swallowed by shadows, erased by the venom in your brain, fogging over our bond. Your body mirrors the mind's slow decay. Your eyes no longer hide your pain, your face sunken as if hollowed from within. A different man stares back at me. My heart beats through the bruises, broken that you are no longer with us, yet later, knowing you are finally free. Dementia's grip is gone. You suffer no more. And the second one is a lot to do with neurodivergency and mental health, because often I find myself asking just, who am I? Waking up with a fog in my head, I question the reality around me. The weight of the world keeps me trapped in my bed. I am a stranger each day with no identity. Wandering through the streets, my brain whispers, they're all staring at me. Others my age have lives mapped out, posting photos and statuses, gushing over their kids and partners. I stand at life's base as they climb the mountaintop. They say, well done, you're doing great. But their compliments hold no weight against the gravity pressing in my head. Imposter syndrome strikes a faceless mob. 30 creeps up like a ghost. My breath catches each time I see how close that monster is. How do I prove I'm truly living? I'm a spirit left to wander the earth. Barren plains stretch between me and the rest. And I wonder, was I ever meant to be here at all? And third one is in my head, just a cheesy love poem that I wrote earlier this year. Internal butterflies. When those hazel eyes glance at me, they pierce into my heart, burning brighter than twin stars entwined, softer than a daffodil's bloom. That's when the butterflies kick in. A simple ping stirs my soul. Just a glimpse of her name stretches my smile. Feeling light as a feather, grinning like a trickster. That's when the butterflies kick in. Her voice saying my name is smooth as butter, sweet as a robin's song. A shiver trickles down my spine, drowning out the world, leaving only her voice. That's when the butterflies kick in. Thank you so much.
Gorgeous. Please feel free to unmute yourselves and go absolutely wild for Lee Shade. Woo! Yay. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, Lee. Loved that. Okay, so let me introduce you to our next reader. Also, by the way, thank you so much for using the chat to say what you're enjoying, say kind of comments and compliments for those reading. It's always a vulnerable thing to share your work, so really appreciate that. Thank you for using that space. Amazing. All right, so let me introduce you to Denny Turp. So Denny is a Welsh-speaking working class writer living in rural North Wales, published in magazines including Prole, Butcher's Dog, Tears in the Fence, South Bank Poetry, Scintilla, Popshot, Shearsman, Belt, obsessed with pipework and anthologies and webzines. Yeah, you should be proud. That's a lot. She has 2 pamphlets coming out this spring. So please go absolutely wild for her as she comes to the microphone.
Thank you. They may be a bit late, but never mind. I'm going to betray my weirdness with both of these poems, but never mind. Quite happy with that. And sorry about the swear word. Excuse my language, but you always want to know the ins and outs of a maggot's arsehole. That's what my old dad used to say to me, and regularly. And this was true, metaphorically speaking. Still is, though you might call me obsessive. Many do. I check out every review I can find before making most new purchases, especially major ones, for weeks or even months beforehand. Maybe you do too? Because it's important to me to be informed, not get it wrong. Same for news. I watch each day BBC, Sky News, ITV and Channel 4, France 24, Al Jazeera, Telesur, Africa News Network, and others from the Southern Hemisphere, from places we discount, ignore. And I find so many differences that I must explore, examine, question for the truth. You know, one of the things that I hate most, always have, is being lied to. So the ins and outs of maggots' arseholes, despite the graphic nature of the insult and the image, seems to me, and increasingly these days, the only way to go. Okay, bearing witness. Well, where would you expect to keep a porcupine? Not here. No, not here in this sad, raised box, layered with sand. No place for a sad porcupine alone. This is not my home. No, not like any home I'd know. I meet her eye. I can't tell if she's really a she or a he. All I can see, aside from spines, is that deep sadness, confusion in her eyes. We look at each other through the glass, a kind of surprise to me, as I'd never looked a porcupine in the eye, found one looking back at me as if she knew. Who are you? What are you? Why am I here? I continue to look, and it was so clear to me that she was asking, was sad, needed help. Yes, needed help. I've remembered this so well, though it was many years ago. Nothing to be done, it's true, except commiserate and stay, continue to meet her gaze, and know, and then recall, and tell too. Hell is zoo. Back then, even so far back then, his rhinoceros an example. Look at the eyes. Even so far back then, even Jura knew.
Amazing. Please feel free to unmute yourselves and go absolutely wild for Denny Turp. Woo! Thank you so much, Jenny. Really appreciate that. Absolutely fantastic stuff so far. So we always have every month a mini spotlight to go with our headliner. So let me explain. Our mini spotlight is a double length slot. It is a space for someone with something to shout about. And this month we are celebrating with the glorious Kirsten Luckins, who is founder and director of TWOOMPH Poets. She is sharing work from her new pamphlet Off-World, published by The Brag in February, and is, we can attest, utterly, deeply fabulous, not only as a person, but also as a pamphlet. It is funny, wistful, and wise, and I'm so delighted we can celebrate together. She is a Hartlepool-based poet with an interest in ekphrasis, I never know how to say that, eco-poetics, and experimentation generally. Please give it up for her as she comes to the microphone. Woo!
Hello everyone. I confess I've forgotten which ones I gave to Humera before. But I'm gonna read them for you, and yeah, I think they're all from Off-World, which is my new pamphlet, and The Brag have done an amazing job of it. It's a pamphlet that is sort of like sci-fi poems and little flash prose poems, but it started life as a residency at Middlesbrough Institute of Modern Art. So all of the titles are mistranslated titles of artworks by a Portuguese artist and photographer called Brigida Baltar, and they all turned into titles for new poems, and the sci-fi-ness of it kind of arose almost by mistake or by accident, and was a wonderful surprise to me that that's where my brain went. So I don't know which one we've got up first, Humera, on the thing. Yeah, no, this is it. I thought that this was probably it. So can we skip across this one, because this was the IWD one that I didn't do. There we go. So we'll start with this. So this is After Other Utopias Are Planted, which is the first poem in the pamphlet. After other utopias are planted, we go on to the next fixer-upper. Mare's tail colonising the low field, dry rot in the joists. The barn door scrapes over chicken scratches, dandelions dig in their heels multiple moons, as pale as seed clocks count out the months of our foundation. In our flatbeds, a familiarity of mattocks, a repetition of rakes. Trowel fits to spade, fits to shovel, like a nest of measuring spoons with which we portion out our faith. To us is given a bushel of corn and the almanac of Eden. So that's the start, and the through line of the pamphlet is kind of sort of it's two people planet hopping through the dying remains of a galactic empire, and this is the beginnings of colonial frontier spirit in the empire. I suppose that's where we start. I wonder what I have put to happen next. Thank you so much, Denny. That's really cool. So what happens next? Right, okay. So on our first planet, this is, I think, the first of the sort of prose poem flashes. The Art of Delicate Resistances. I'd rather be a man's rib than a monkey, says Maria 3, slathering moisturizer on her little paws so her age won't show. Cy told me that years ago on Earth, even the whores wore gloves. Probably took them off for hand jobs, maybe putting lacy fingertips between suggestive teeth one by one and tugging. Me and Maria 3 should try it. All the other girls are at tables. I'm thinking about how atmospheres are made. How hot and cold bodies of air rub each other into clouds. When Mama-san finally beckons me, she gestures like a traffic cop. Hand out flat, palm hinged to swiftly flip up the fingers twice. Come, come. The fingers pressed together like a virgin's knees. Come, come. The octopus has asked for me. For the next hour, I writhe and giggle, tickle his tentacles away from my tits. I am artful. My hands are a perpetual motion fan dance. My reward is the chance to pout my cleavage just long enough to admit a folded credit. The last twist of the torso is crucial. The octopus always makes one last lunge for a nipple, but I am quick and graceful as a mermaid. And the next one only wants me to sing with him. A tragic duet I've learned phonetically for just such an occasion. On the screen behind us, a human female cries as her beloved boards his flight. She gazes up at the heavy skies. The shining fuselage tears apart the clouds' filmy resistance, and she turns back to her fate, twisting her gloves between her cold hands. So Sai and the narrator have hopped planet away from wherever this job is that she had, and yeah, they're out there in the big bad worlds, um, finding or hoping for an indoor heaven. On the first night of rain, they found an empty doorway, and they put their backs to the locked doors of the dead shop beyond, where all the dry shelving units stood straight-faced. On the second night of rain, the doorway filled with water, and their cardboard became a frigid porridge, and their fingers were eaten by crabs. On the third night of rain, the hallucinatory street lamps played on the surface of the flood, where a Costa cup bobbed like a coracle, a tenth full of copper tithes. On the fourth night, the rain hardened, and a tarantella of hail ignited cold halos on their scalps, which immediately shrank until their faces split like tomato skin. On the fifth night, atavistic gills awoke and slit their throats as a mercy. By the sixth night of rain, they had come to a new understanding about the nature of divinity. At no point did anyone rest. Thank you. Do we have another one? I think that's it. I think that's me. I only had the 3 through. Thank you so much. I wish I'd put another one in now. I forgot I had the IWD one in instead. But I'm going to be reading more. For those of you who are in Teesside, I'm going to be in Darlington on the 3rd of April at Anne Cuthbert's night at the Quaker Meeting House. Stop right here, 6:15 on the 3rd of April, and I will read more. Yeah, thank you very much for letting me have a slot.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kirsten. And if you can please put a link to where we can get your pamphlet in the chat or socials.
Sure.
Also, if you have been here tonight and you were like, I would also like to put my socials in, or links to what I'm doing, or various other things, please put them in the chat. We want to hear from you. We want to know how to keep in touch. We want to see your stuff. You don't have to have pamphlets for us to be interested in you. My goodness, all of us just really enjoy words. So yeah, please put your socials in the chat so that we can keep in touch. Please, whatever it is that you are up to at the moment, get it in there. Thank you so much. That was the end of the first half. We are incredibly on time tonight, which is amazing. So we are going to have, for the next few minutes, a space for a comfort break / shenanigans. So let me explain to you what we are doing tonight. I'll give you some instructions, and then we can get to getting yourselves comfy, doing what we're doing. So we are going to play a game of 5-7-5. I'm going to pop it in the chat as well, so that you can see it, if that is helpful. Right, there we go. Pop that in. Lovely. All right, we're going to play a game of 5-7-5. Okay, so the challenge is to describe an animal without naming it, a bit like Taboo. All right. The reason it's called 5-7-5 is you're going to write 3 separate lines with 5 syllables, then 7, then 5 again. Okay, so just to explain, a syllable is a beat in a word. So syllable is 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. Syllable. Monkey is 2. Monkey. Boom is 1. All right, so that's what a syllable is. And so we're calling it 5-7-5 because you're in each line you've got 5 syllables, then you got 7, then you got 5 again. You can use those syllables however you like. It's your adventure, but you're trying to describe an animal without naming it. Okay, and basically that's the game. That's what you're trying to do. You're making yourself a little description, or a little like riddle, as it were. Now that can sound a little bit overwhelming. Don't worry, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but it is just a bit of fun. When you've done that, you write it in the chat. We've done this before with fruit. I think we've done it before with some other stuff. We always have a different game each time. So if you don't enjoy this flavour of shenanigans, that's fine. You'll probably enjoy next month's. So you're going to write your 5-7-5 in the chat. If you need to say it out loud, feel free, and we will write that down for you. And then you get writing and guessing. Okay, so then you need to start guessing other people's animals. Have a little look at them, and you pop someone's name down, and you guess against it. That's it. So no worries, Denise. It was lovely to have you. No problem at all. We'll speak to you soon. Amazing. Oh, and we've still got some really lovely stuff about what people are up to in the chat as well. So does that make sense? That is what is 575 tonight. Okay, that's the shenanigans. We are going to have 10 minutes to be doing that, to write your 575 and to pop to the loo or get yourself a bevy, whatever it is that you need to do to be comfy. So at 1914 we will be coming back together again to share what we've been doing. You can write in the chat before then, not a problem at all, but we'll be specifically coming back to chat and to share about that at 14 minutes past 7. I'm going to pop to the loo and get myself comfy. So I will see you in 10 minutes. So I'm just sharing my 575 in the chat. Hopefully that's a helpful little example. I haven't said the name of my animal, So the name of your animal shouldn't be in there at all. It doesn't have to be particularly poetic. It's not kind of the challenge like that. It's just to see if we can guess each other's animal. And then once you've written one down, or even if you haven't, you can have a little look and you just guess. So you can either reply to someone's comment to guess their stuff, or you can put someone's name and then say what your guess is for their animal. Oh, amazing. We've got a few, which is great. So Denny says, unexpected sight, copper disappearing gleam, slips through clustered leaves. Oh, that's very poetic, Denny. That's lovely.
It was
Oh,
a
no.
real experience, so I was remembering it.
Oh, gorgeous. I love, yeah, there was a real sense of memory in that. I absolutely love that. So copper disappearing gleam slips through clustered leaves. I'm not entirely sure whether this is, I feel like the clustered leaves might be on the floor, maybe. So it's not necessarily a bird or something like that. Oh, we've got a guess for my one. So my one was long black and white tail. Its face looks like a bandit. Clever, quick hands and feet. Denny has suggested, is it a raccoon? It's not a raccoon. But good guess there. Julia says, this one shows his arse. Absolutely cracking start. It's red and bare and bulbous. Tail lifts off, he struts. And again, another guess, baboon. Let us know if that is a good guess. Ooh, Lee! Horribly it stood, face twisted into a snarl, fur-coated, thick frame. Fantastic. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so we've got a few different, we've got so many. This is great. Guys, this is fantastic stuff. Amazing. We've got another one. Oh, wiffle velvet nose, eyes like chocolate saucers, egg whisk tail on crack cocaine. What a great one. Fantastic. I'm loving these. Get your guesses in the chat. This is brilliant. Another one, eyes like emeralds, a predator of the night, silently stalks mice. Ooh. Me cheeky, me cute, bananas are me, besties, I was a series. Oh, yeah. I wonder if monkey is a good guess. This is fantastic. We have got the guess for Julia's. It sounds like it was indeed a baboon. Fantastic. Good job. Do we think that Abigail's might be a dog? Oh, Angie says a splash of pond water. Shocked, my granddaughter jumps back. No princely kisses. Absolutely love that one. I'm really enjoying some of the memories that are clearly involved in some of your 575s. Absolutely fantastic. Julia is guessing frog. We've got a guess for, no, okay, so not owl. Fantastic, amazing. I know, Denny, I can't keep up either. Woo! This is making me keep up think. Oh, amazing. Okay. Abigail says my Romanian rescue Dexter. Amazing. So Abigail's one. Let's pop upwards. So it was a dog. That is fantastic. I'm glad Dexter got into the 575. That's absolutely brilliant. Good job, guys. So we've had a baboon, we've had a dog. It's not a badger for my one either. So we've had a raccoon and a badger. Any other guesses? Black and white tail, face looks like a bandit, clever, quick hands and feet. Oh, Kim says never found his stars, never seen one in the wild. August horoscope. Oh, that's such a helpful little bit of guessing there. So if anyone knows the horoscopes, please let me know which animal that is, or have a little Google, guys, is what I would recommend. Let's find out. Amazing stuff. Sets of compound eyes, legs in the form of an S, wings around garbage. Oh, this is amazing. You're all absolutely on fire. Fantastic. Oh, brilliant. Okay. So let's see if there's any other guesses going on. We've got the frog, brilliant stuff. Oh, Denny, I think we might need a little bit more of a little bit more of a clue, because that's absolutely beautiful, but I'm not entirely sure. Is it an otter or a vole?
The copper, which was what surprised me when I saw it, might give it away if you've ever seen one.
Copper. I feel like there's a couple of birds I'm aware of that have like a oh,
Is it
Kirsten.
a fox? Is it a fox, Denny? Is it a fox?
No, it's not a mammal. I don't think it's a mammal.
Oh.
Is it an adder?
No, but you're much closer.
Oh, okay. So we might be going into the reptile or amphibian world. This is really interesting. So, guys, a little bit of a clue. Copper is involved. This is really good. Oh, so we think maybe chimpanzees or monkey for Michelle's one. We've got dogs. This is amazing. Lemur, says Kim for my one. Fantastic. Ring-tailed lemur. Right. Good job, guys. Brilliant stuff. There's been some really great guesses. I think we'll kind of start bringing this one to a close. But Kim's guess, were we right with lion? Was that correct?
Yes, sorry.
Oh, brilliant. Well done. Absolutely fantastic. That is really good. Michelle's one, there's a little guess for that as a fish. Denny, is yours a fish? Is the question coming up. Oh, and cat for eyes like emeralds. Good job, guys. Oh,
Esther got it.
Is it a slow worm? Oh, amazing. Oh, I love slow worms. My oh gosh, I rescued 2 cats when I was a teenager, and they were absolutely hopeless when it came to hunting things. They used to be mocked by all of the squirrels and everything in our back garden. But the one thing that they did do was I once had a conservationist friend who was involved in conservation in my area come over for a cup of tea, and we were talking about different populations, and we happened to be talking about the slow worm population, and my cat comes in with a slow worm, and I don't think I've ever wanted to die more in my life, because I was like, oh yeah, my cats, they're absolutely rubbish hunters, but apparently a really slow worm was not able to get away. A slow worm is a thing. They are amazing. They are more of an amphibian than a reptile. They are warm. I say they're warm-blooded, but they're not cold-blooded. They're not reptiles. They don't have to sit in the sun. They're very shy, and they're
And the
very
colour when the sun hits them, that beautiful copper glow.
Oh, gorgeous. Absolutely love it. So please recommend that you Google some of these wonderful animals. Guys, thank you so much for playing that. I know it was a little bit chaotic towards the end there, but I really appreciate you getting involved. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. And we do something different every month. So that was just what I decided to do this month. So we'll see what we do next month. But if everyone's back, we are going to go straight into our second half, because I have a fabulous headliner for you. Obviously, so many of you have come to see Julia Webb. So let me tell you a bit about Julia. So Julia is a neurodiverse writer and artist from a working class background. She has 3 poetry collections with 9 Arches Press. In 2011, she won the Poetry Society Stanza competition, and in 2018, the Battered Moons Poetry competition. She's had 2 poems highly commended in the Ford Prize. She has taught creative writing for many organisations, and in 2016 she was writer in residence in Norwich Market. She runs real world and email poetry courses and mentors for the Writing Coach. She's a steering editor for Lighthouse, a journal for new writers. Her 4th collection, Grey Time, comes out with 9 Arches Press in July 2025. So as you can tell, she's doing many writer worldly things, and we are terribly excited to have her here. Please go absolutely wild for her as she comes to the microphone. Woohoo!
Thank you. What a lovely introduction. I really enjoyed putting together this little group of poems. I sort of themed them around women, because, you know, this is like tease women poets. I realized I didn't put where the poems were from on the poems, but I'm going to read some from each of my books. So I'm going to start with one from The Telling, which was my last collection. And I've always felt like I was born twice, because I lived my first few years in London, and then we moved to Norfolk, and Norfolk was very, very different, as you can imagine. Girl was born. Girl was in the world. Her mother was a horse and her father was a pony, or was it the other way round? Girl never knew when a day would turn sour. The world was a farmyard full of plastic animals. The houses were wooden, tiny painted rectangles for windows. Nothing to look out from. Girl looked out of her rectangular eyes with longing. Girl reached for quiet. She reached for making sense. The words danced themselves up and down on the page until finally she understood them. Girl was born too late or too early. She became a sister. Then she became a sister again. She ran up the slippery stairs 2 at a time. She jumped down them. Girl was a ratty tennis ball. Somewhere along the way, she lost her bounce. Girl was born a second time. Girl was born of the woods. Her father was a pine tree, and her mother was a bramble. The house was full of midges. There was no way of returning to where she had come from. She picked up a twig shaped like a gun and aimed it. So the next poem is from my very first collection, which came out in 2016, which was called Bird Sisters. And this is parts of the first sequence in the book. 1. This sister is the bones of the outfit. She is the stuff that keeps the body up. She is dem bones, dem bones. She is calcified connective tissue. She is femur, tibia, ulna, ribs. This sister is the perfect scrunch of English rose, all delicate petal curls, subtle pinks. She opens her smile up to the sun. This sister is a fuzzy stamen with a dust of pollen. She is the heady waft of perfume, begging you to bring your face down to her, to bring your face right down. This sister reads Nietzsche. Her hair is twisted into bunches like tiny horns. She makes abstract art with fur and feathers. She likes to collect things from gutters and pavements. And her eyes have that sparkle you were scared of as a kid. This sister is the bee, and we are the nectar. She is drawing us in with her persistent buzzing, her talk of the hive mind, her tremble dance. So I'm going to read some poems from my forthcoming collection now, which is called Grey Time, which comes out in July, and a lot of it is about grief and loss, although the poems I'm going to read today aren't so much about that. They're more about relationships. A small girl cries on a blue and black tiled kitchen floor. Snow falls softly all around her, then in big fat flakes. Her breath gasps clouds into the shivery air. Her flowery Christmas dress has stiffened in the cold. Her soft pink skin turns purpley blue. Her legs are half buried already, but she doesn't move, just sits there as her white socks and best red sandals are completely covered. The room is filling up with snow. It blizzards over everything. The wind whistles through the ceiling washing lines. It wobbles her mother in her chair. Snow on snow until the kitchen is full, until the girl and her mother have completely disappeared. So this one is after the poem Jubilate, I can never say it, Jubilate Agnatum by Christopher Smart. You know, it's a list poem that's about For I will consider my cat Geoffrey. For I will consider my mother, who was a candle that illuminated with the strength of a floodlight, who was the stained glass gift to the meanest window, who was never the stew but was always the dumpling, who filled herself with helium and floated along the ceiling, who invited in a forest, then a river, then the mountain, who hooted like an owl and cooed like a pigeon, who was born in a storm with a rainbow inside her, who stained the world purple and covered it with glitter, who some days was a guitar and other days a mouth organ, who built a snowman right there in her bedroom, who taught herself to fly but was a terrible swimmer, who had visited the stars and learnt how to shimmer, who was in love with the moon but kept the sun inside her, and when it was time for her to shine, oh boy, did she. The same mother who taught you to be a house and not a tree, retaining treeness for herself. The same mother who invited your ex-boyfriend round for tea and chat the week after he broke your heart, so that you came home from school and found him at the kitchen table. And yes, he was a bit older, but not by much, closer to your age than hers, your first real love. That same mother didn't steal exactly, more borrowed. And each time you found him there, her roots spread deeper into your foundations. So this one's kind of a list poem, I suppose. Everything. She gave me Devil's Food Cake and Victoria Sponge. She gave me Burger Saturdays. She gave me a golden egg cracked into a bowl of margarine and sugar. She gave me Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit in her best voice in a dark kitchen. She gave me chicken and mushroom pie and crisps and a thwack on the head with a mop. She gave me laughter and humiliation. She gave me words slippery as seaweed and sharp as lemon juice. She gave me an outside chance. She gave me a race I could never win. She gave me tears and arguments and a second-hand bed under a drafty window. She gave me a bad feeling about myself I can't shake off. She gave me grocery shopping and dusting and polishing. She gave me curses and blessings. She gave me a locked toilet door and the inability to open up. She gave me lentil bake and curry. She gave me an overload of sweetness. She gave me reasonable doubt. She gave me a crash landing. She gave me a pain in my chest and indigestion. She gave me love, but I couldn't take it. She gave me tears and accusations. She gave me herself as an adult child. She gave me everything and nothing. She gave me my life, and I took it. So I thought, keeping on that theme of motherhood, that I'd read this one because I don't read it very often. And this is from my first collection, Bird Sisters. And it's about being the weirdness of being a new mum. Maternity ward. Like a flower when the first frost comes, she is shut up tight, pressed into herself. Her ears are full of ringing phones and raised voices, a curtain of sound, while her own mouth emits a series of beeps and whistles. In between meals, she watches the baby, trying hard to understand it. Its arms and legs move jerkily, and its mouth howls open. She can't distinguish friendly faces, can't be sure if real life exists within the room or outside it. The bed has wheels. It drives her away while she is sleeping. So this one is also about being a mother, but this is from my collection that comes out this year. To him who came from my body, I gave the otter of me. I gave myself over to the tending and the feeding. I was a soft spring lawn for him, and in summer, when the hot sun parched it, I conjured a sprinkler from the depths of myself and brought it back to life. I cut out the everyday from the dreams and magic of the universe. I offered him the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, all the animals of land and sea. He took what he wanted, the others he discarded. I fed him on the meat of me, bite-sized morsels. Choir I was, and storyteller. I was the strainer through which he poured the tea of himself. I caught those leaves and saved them. Now, of course, he craves his own world, and I must lay down my sword and shield. So thank you for being such good listeners. This is the final poem I'm going to read, and this is from my second, it's the last poem in my second collection, Threat. And it's got a little epigraph from Hilda Sheehan, and it's a poem from a poem called The Box of Books 1. All the women of Texas flock towards it. And when I read that poem, it just, as probably you all know, sometimes something just sparks something in you, doesn't it, and sends you off writing something, and that was what happened. All the women are inside me now, shouting that this is a fine day for it, that they needn't have brought their brollies, their rain faces, their fold-up cagoules. Whose voice is loudest, I couldn't tell you. I speak acorns and buttresses. I speak water lilies and doves. The day is a wedding, and shortly we will all climb with our brimming glasses aboard a vintage double-decker. But the women, they are building their bakeries inside me. They are making baklava and baking exquisite cakes. They are replacing my blood with confectioner's custard and icing the insides of my breasts. And they are right. It is a fine day for it. The sky is smiling widely, showing its teeth of birds. We have 24-hour supermarkets and online shopping, and there are books galore on eBay and in libraries. We can pick them up and check them out. We can put them under our jumpers and take them home. But the women are camped on the edge of the deep, dark pool. They are writing their epic poems on the inside of my skin. They are filling me up with shopping lists, chapters of novels, letters and bills. I am word confetti. I open my book beak and inadvertently sing.
Oh, gorgeous. Please feel free to unmute yourselves and give it up for the wonderful Julia Webb. Woohoo! Astounding. Thank you so much, Julia, for sharing your work with us this evening. And thank you so much to all of the readers as well so far tonight. It's been an absolute joy to have you. Julia, if you can share, if you haven't already, where we can find your work, where we can find your books, that would be amazing. Please pop that in the chat for us. Absolutely fantastic. Just a reminder that Julia's fourth collection, Grey Time, comes out with Nine Arches Press in July. So something to look forward to. But it's all right, she's also got 3 other ones you can check out. So fantastic. Let me introduce you to our next wonderful reader. So Scott Elder, let me introduce you. So Scott lives in Auvergne, France. Since 2014, his work has been widely published and placed or commended in numerous competitions in the UK and Ireland. His second collection, Maria, was published by Abatu Press in 2023, and a third, My Hotel, is forthcoming by Salmon Poetry in 2026. How fantastic, wonderful stuff. We can't wait to hear your stuff. Please take it away, Scott.
Thank you. I've got 3 short poems to share tonight. The first 2 are part of a collection manuscript entitled My Hotel, which I said to be published in Ireland next year. And the third is the last poem of a collection entitled Maria, that was published in Liverpool in 2023. Oh, I've got the wrong one. Open market, murmurs, cries, cabbages and corpses of cod on ice. Rosie in line, distinctly hearing first the sea, cuttlefish and squid. A current insisting, what'll it be? Fields of daisies swell in her throat. A bouquet of these she sputters. 20 stems bleeding in curled fingers. 6 flights of stairs to a key in a door. She enters the room like a breath. Here and Again, after the Here and After by Jun Miyake. This poem was, this song was used by Pina Bausch in one of her choreographies. Half sliced, a lily on the table, petals burning white on white. There's no saying who's under that skin. Salt spray, spindrift, a taste of rust, a drop of blood, just name it, it's there. A knife slit away. Not waiting for someone to whisper, come alive, come alive. Instinctively twisting back to spawn, to begin again the incantation, the ragged waltz. Half here, half gone. You touch your lips to a lily's wound. This is sorrow, it murmurs. The pain is gone. Again, this is the last poem of the last collection. Equinox in Orkney. A low roar, a tide of ghosts, cries and murmurs drowned in the thrust. No one is spared, not least Marie. She takes her stance waist high in shallows. Singed, matted, a taste of brine on violet lips. She lifts a spear forged to pierce the toughest skin. Marie's mute and strong at this. The tide pulls through from belly to nape, her eyes set on a bloodlust song. The horizon's already ablaze. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so, so much, Scott. Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us from France as well. Absolutely fantastic. So thank you. Let me share a little bit about our next reader, Abigail Otley. So Abigail lives in Penzance in Cornwall. Last year, she was second in the Plaza Prose Poetry Competition, third in the Patricia Eshen, and won the Metro Poetry Competition on the theme of care. Her debut collection launches with Yaffle in May this year, so please give it up for her as she comes to the microphone.
Hi, thank you. I'm going to read 2 prose poems from Out of Eden, which is really focusing on the lives of working class women, including my own. And so these 2 poems are kind of memoir poems as well. The second one, in a sense, explains the first, so bear with me. Exposure, near Kendal, the mid-1960s. Mud-lagged and shoeless, she is bone-deep cold, wet through to her knickers and exhausted. She is too scared to run. He has thrown away her glasses. Rain blinds her too. His long, thin legs go further, faster, so he drags her like a wolf with a carcass. In his head, he believes he's both hunter and hunted, Geronimo, heading for the hills. He's a man, full grown, but she sees through him, feels oddly protective of his weakness. She thinks he is not quite right in the head, and her mum would say she needs to be kind. But can that be right when she also thinks if she makes him cross, he will hurt her? All this time she has been nice to him, but being nice can sometimes be a lie. Now rain sleet is grating her, slicing her raw, and she understands a person can die here. Many hours have passed since he first raised his hunting knife, hacked at the splendor of her hair. And the second one is called Persephone's Dilemma. There is an up and over door that opens inch by inch, metallic, hard-edged groan. It's a dull day, but the bike is gleaming. There is rain on the corrugated roof. You're wishing you went to school instead. You'd be dozing in the fog of Binky's lab, slouched at a bench on a high wooden stool, doodling flowers in your rough book. Your stomach would be rumbling. Morning break over, double chemistry, dull as a yawn. Binky's real name is Mr. Morpurgo. When he speaks, words stick to his tongue. Sit you up straight, girl. Shut you up and listen. He never knows anyone's name. But instead, you chose this, or had it chosen for you, like you chose, but also didn't choose chemistry. You have learned already that choice is a phantom. You have seen them playing with the strings. You could have said no, is what your mum will say. The policeman will call you something nasty, will not understand how impossible it was to refuse to lay down in this dark. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Please join me in giving it up for Abigail Otley. Abigail, thank you so much for sharing that tonight with us. Now, we are supposed to have one more reader, but I don't know. Beverly, are you here? Or our final reader would be Beverly, but I don't think she's here. In which case, that will be we've just had our final reader for tonight, which has been an absolutely glorious night. So let me tell you a few things, because I feel like it's too soon to leave. Thank you, first of all, to our incredible readers tonight. Thank you to those on the open mic. Thank you to our wonderful mini spotlight, Kirsten Luckins. Thank you to our headliner, Julia Webb. Thank you to Humera for being our fantastic tech wizard and making sure that everything just goes so smoothly. We're so grateful for you, man. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much to our wonderful audience for making it so generous and warm a space every single month. I'm always astonished by you, and I love coming back to host this space with you every single month. Thanks for putting up with me and my shenanigans, and thank you again for coming. It's been absolutely amazing. Just a little heads up,